In a stunning revelation that's rocking Hollywood's legacy, Christopher Reeve, the heart and soul of Superman, the movie exposed Marlon Brando's shocking lack of effort as Jor-El, igniting a fiery clash of egos that nearly derailed the greatest superhero film ever made. Decades later, this hidden feud is finally bursting into the spotlight. A superhero's disappointment in a legend. It's 1977 and the set of Superman. The movie is a whirlwind of ambition, chaos, and dreams. This isn't just another Hollywood production. It's a cinematic gamble to redefine superhero films, to make audiences believe a man can fly. At the epicenter is Christopher Reeve, a 25-year-old Juilliard-trained actor with piercing blue eyes and a relentless drive to embody the Man of Steel. Across the soundstage stands Marlon Brando, the towering titan of acting, cast as Superman's Kryptonian father, Jor-El. With a jaw-dropping $3.7 million paycheck for just 2 weeks of work, Brando was expected to deliver a performance for the ages. Instead, what unfolded was a clash of commitment so intense it left Reeve reeling, and the legacy of Superman forever scarred by controversy. The bombshell comes straight from the 2024 documentary Super/Man, the Christopher Reeve story, which pulls back the curtain on Reeve's disillusionment. He didn't even know his lines, Reeve said, his voice dripping with disbelief, as recounted in the film. Brando, the man who revolutionized acting in A Streetcar Named Desire and The Godfather, was relying on cue cards, barely engaging with the role. For Reeve, who transformed his body and soul to become Superman, Brando's cavalier attitude was nothing short of a betrayal. "He just phoned it in," Reeve fumed, a quote that's now sending shockwaves through Hollywood's memory lane, forcing fans to question the myth of Brando's genius. A set in turmoil. The Superman set was a pressure cooker, a high-stakes battleground where dreams collided with reality. Director Richard Donner was juggling a $55 million budget, astronomical for the time, pioneering special effects, and a cast of heavyweights. Reeve, an unknown actor thrust into the spotlight, faced relentless scrutiny. "I had to be Superman," Reeve said in a 1979 interview, his voice thick with conviction. This wasn't just a role, it was a mission to inspire hope. He spent months training with bodybuilder David Prowse, the man behind Darth Vader's mask, packing on 20 pounds of muscle to embody a god among men. Every bead of sweat, every grueling workout, was for the kids who'd look up at the screen and believe. But then there was Brando. The legendary actor, already a cultural icon, seemed to treat Superman like a quick cash grab. Crew members whispered about his demands. No more than a few takes per scene, no memorizing lines, and an air of detachment that chilled the set. Marlon would show up, read his cards, and leave, a grip recalled in the documentary, shaking his head. It was like he was daring us to complain. Reeve, watching from the sidelines, was stunned. During one rehearsal, he reportedly confronted Brando, saying, "You're Marlon Brando. Why aren't you giving this everything?" Brando's response? A dismissive shrug and a smirk that spoke volumes. The media fallout was immediate, even in the pre-internet era. A 1978 Variety article hinted at Brando's unorthodox methods, but the full extent of attention stayed under wraps, until now. The Super/Man documentary has reignited the controversy, and X is ablaze with reactions. Reeve was out here sculpting his body to be a superhero, and Brando couldn't even learn his lines? Disgraceful. One user posted, racking up thousands of likes. Another defended Brando. He was Jor-El for 10 minutes and still owned the screen. Reeve was just intimidated by a legend. The hashtag Superman scandal is trending, with fans split between Team Reeve and Team Brando, turning a 47-year-old feud into a modern-day culture war. Hollywood insiders are piling on. Brando was a genius, but by the late 70s, he was coasting, a veteran producer told The Hollywood Reporter in 2024. Reeve, on the other hand, was all in. That clash was inevitable. The documentary's directors, Ian Bonnote and Peter Atedgi, leaned hard into the drama, using Reeve's own words to frame Brando as a symbol of Hollywood's bloated excess. Christopher saw Superman as a chance to change the world, Bonnote told Entertainment Weekly. He couldn't fathom why Brando didn't share that fire. Two titans, two paths. To understand this feud, we need to step back into the 1970s, a time when Hollywood was reinventing itself. Brando was at the peak of his mythos, but his reputation was fraying. On the set of Apocalypse Now, 1979, he arrived overweight, unprepared, and clashed with director Francis Ford Coppola, demanding rewrites and improvising entire scenes. His Superman deal was even more audacious, $3.7 million upfront, plus 11.75% of the film's gross, for a role that barely clocked 10 minutes. "I'm not here to slave away," Brando reportedly told a Superman assistant director, a quote that's now infamous in industry circles. His cue card habit, already a staple of his later career, was less about method acting and more about disengagement. Reeve, by contrast, was a rising star with everything to prove. Fresh from Juilliard, he approached Superman with a near-religious fervor. "I wanted kids to believe in heroes," he said in a 1979 Rolling Stone interview, his sincerity almost palpable. He endured grueling physical training, mastering wirework to soar convincingly as Superman. Off-screen, his life was just as heroic. After a 1995 horse-riding accident left him paralyzed, Reeve became a global advocate for spinal cord research, raising millions until his death in 2004. His Superman role wasn't just a job, it was a legacy. The Superman set became a battleground for their opposing philosophies. Brando's apathy clashed with Reeve's intensity, creating a rift that simmered beneath the film's glossy surface. You could feel the tension, a costume designer recalled in the documentary. Chris was giving 110%, and Marlon was barely there. The contrast wasn't just professional, it was personal. Reeve saw Superman as a beacon of hope. Brando saw it as another paycheck. That divide, now laid bare, raises questions about what it means to be a true artist in Hollywood. A relatable betrayal. Let's get real. Reeve's frustration is something we've all felt. Picture yourself pouring your heart into a project, staying late, obsessing over details, only to watch someone else waltz in, do the bare minimum, and still get the glory. That's what Reeve faced with Brando. It's not just about cue cards, it's about respect. Reeve was fighting to prove himself, to make Superman a timeless icon, while Brando acted like he was above it all. I admire Reeve's grit. He wasn't just playing a hero, he was living it. Brando's talent was unmatched, but his attitude? It stings. It makes you wonder, did Brando's indifference dull Reeve's shine, or did it fuel him to soar higher? For me, Reeve's the real Superman here, cape or no cape.